Hey, what's up team? It's Sherman here from Geek Psychology. In this video, I just want to talk about why knowing your type is better than Christmas morning. It just feels so good. I don't know if you remember, like, oh man, when I was just a little kid, when I was like 4 or 5 or whatever, I'd wake up at like 6 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. It's just like, it's Christmas, you know. That whole feeling. And you get all excited and you run downstairs and it's just presents everywhere and half-eaten cookies and milk and stuff like that and stockings. It's just great. And well, it being Christmas today here, I felt that it was right to share. So I want to talk a little bit about why it just feels so good. It feels like this, actually. I'll cover the name. This is one of my students made this for me. Very cute, right? This is me. This is how I feel when I know my best fit type. So, we all know the other side of this feeling as well, where you're just like, you're confused. You don't know what is going on. You think you know yourself so well, but then you look around and you're like, why do other people act in this other way? Like, the clear decision was this. Why would anybody do it this way? Why would you see the world in this other way? You don't see the connections going on behind, right? Like, how are you not noticing that? Or you have no idea what's going on around you in like the present tangible world? That's ridiculous. You didn't notice that person that just walked by? Or you don't know where you are? Like, I get lost all the time. Just constantly. It's because I don't look at the buildings and stuff. But from, let's say, my ESTJ friend, he'll see it and he'll just be like, how do you not know where you are? Or my ESFP friend too. They're completely confused why I would not have any concept of where I am right now and why I have to rely on Google Maps or whatever map app that I open. And it's just because I'm in a different world. I'm in a different perspective, right? And there's this just like, this awful feeling of not knowing why you do stuff one way and other people do it a different way, or like, why do I feel broken? Doesn't that suck? I mean, you're just like, maybe I'm strange. Maybe I'm the odd one and everybody else is okay. And then you start getting paranoid and you wonder all these awful things and get hypercritical of yourself and all that stuff. And it sucks. So I want to talk about the good stuff, all right? So when you know your type, you have this other experience of it, and you feel this relief. It's like you've been carrying this boulder on your neck, on your back for so long, going up the hill, and you don't even know why, but you can't put it down until you realize your type, and then you're like, the weight has been lifted. There's a sense of relief. That's how I see it anyway. And you also get permission. You get permission to be yourself, to live to your strengths, to respect your mental wiring and your skill set. It's like, I've talked about this before, but I used to consider myself a rogue. Like, I was in the shadows and stealthy, and I'm gonna pick my perfect point to attack, and I'm only concerned about myself and my close-knit group of, hoodlums. But when you get that permission to see yourself in a different light, to reframe the situation, and when I started realizing that, maybe I'm not a rogue and I'm a priest, when I switched that, not like an actual priest, but I feel like I'm a healer. If you've been in this channel for a while, you know what I'm talking about. It's just like, I have so much more to give, and I've been selling myself short for so long and playing at a lower level game than I could be. And when you know your type, you have that permission to be like, I'm going to accept that side of myself now, and I'm going to, because I have to, because now I know it exists, I have to play to a higher level, or there's a ton of dissonance and you don't feel good at all. Which, you can go that route, but I would suggest embracing your type and doing what you do the best. Stop trying to stab people if you're supposed to be healing them. Right? That makes sense, right? And also there's this sense of acceptance, and not acceptance of yourself, which is also there, but I feel that was covered in permission and relief, but acceptance of other people. Like, as an INFP, I don't see ESTJs as this cold as steel person anymore. Like, when I first was, and before I even started learning about this stuff, it was just like, I don't like you because you are completely opposite of myself. But I had no words for it. But when you start to understand the different types and the different cognitive functions and your type as well, you see other people as doing things better than you do, and covering your weaknesses and allowing your strengths to come out as well. And so I don't see ESTJs as that anymore. I see them as the strategic commander, as listening to that voice more than I do. And it's great because then you can be like, you are so good at this. I'm either going to model that, or I'm going to just let you do it and let me do the things that I do better. And there's a lot more like acceptance and co-creation of new things, and it's just great. I guess that leads you to love and to accepting and to being happy and appreciating other people's struggles and their situation as well. And I think that's a great thing. I guess it wouldn't be a Christmas morning video if I didn't talk about presents or some other metaphor related to that. So it's like you have been in this box, could be a Christmas present, for so long, and you've gotten accustomed to the walls of the box, the different sides, and then eventually it just opens up and you're free to see it from a different perspective. You're free to see the box for what it was, and that you have been in it all along. I'm not saying that typing puts you in a box. I'm saying that you've been so blind, we have all been so blind to all these different perspectives because all we do is see things from our own perspective. Does that make sense? So once you know your type and see all these different other types and how people work in different ways, this is from any model of typology. It could be Graves' model or Enneagram or even systems thinking and stuff like that. Any way you look at it, you see all these different perspectives. So you've opened the box and you're free to see the box and look at the box and analyze the box, as well as the gift that has been given to you from within. Does that make sense? And when you open it up, there is this realization of what you have been hiding for so long, and the strengths and weaknesses that you've been carrying around, but never actually opening up, never actually looking inside and seeing the goodness that could come from it. And it's just like, when you actually do open that up and you take out that gift and you're able to expose that to the world and share it with the world, I feel that it can benefit you and other people so much. It's just a beautiful thing. So what I'm thinking is, not everybody knows their type, and I can't specifically tell you, you're this type, especially through this video. But some things that you can do to figure out your type if you don't know it, and so every day can be like Christmas morning, you can do some research, which is why you're here right now, I assume. You want to learn about yourself, you want to get on this journey and better yourself, understand yourself, realize why you're not broken, and possibly have better relationships with other people as well. And so one, just research, look into the basic dichotomies that MBTI uses, like ISTJ. Figure out what those mean. Get comfortable with those. And then go into the cognitive functions as well. Look at Enneagram, all that stuff, whatever one. There's going to be one that generally fits a little bit better with how you perceive the world. And then you can use that as a way to learn a new language of another model. Also, I suggest going to sites like celebritytypes.com, looking at the different celebrities, see who you relate to. Also, look into fictional characters from movies and things. Like, we all have those specific characters that we're like, wow, I really relate to him or her. There's probably a reason. It might not necessarily be personality type. It could be personal circumstances or whatever, but figure that out. Look into it just a little bit. It might give you that realization. So that's one way of going about finding your type. Another one is to take notes on yourself. I used to set alarms, to just random alarms throughout the day, to question myself, when am I in flow? Like, it would beep and I'd be like, not feeling really good right now about whatever I'm doing. It would go off and I would be like, I'm not feeling great right now. This is what I'm doing. This is who I'm with. This is the time of the day. These are my current thoughts, or the thoughts that I had before the timer went off. And you take enough of those notes and you start to see the patterns that are, in play in there. And you get some insight into when you are in flow. And when you're in flow, it generally has something to do with something you've had a lot of experience doing, and or your dominant cognitive function, your main skill set. If you don't really know your type, just take a couple notes throughout the day, even if it's not random reminders, just like at noon, at 2:30, and at 8:30, whatever. Just check in with yourself, see what you're doing, where you are, and how you're feeling. And that might give you some insight into if you're a sensor, intuitor, thinker, feeler, judger, perceiver, introverted, extroverted, whatever it is. The last one is just don't give up. It sucks sometimes when you don't know your type, I understand that, but just keep going. There's some wall that's there that you need to find a way around, under, over, through, however you approach metaphorical walls. It always comes back to the walls. It will be okay. You will find your way around if you don't give up, if you keep putting in the time and energy to figure it out. Just remember that the end game is what you're going for. You want the hole. You don't want the drill that creates the hole. Does that make sense? So you don't want to know this stuff necessarily because of the model itself. You want the result from using the model. And so just keep reminding yourself of that. And also, I'm thinking about starting some free sessions for typing people. If you want a consultation, let me know, private message me or whatever. So down below, if you could, please let me know, like, what have you gained from knowing your best fit type? What is the realization that you've come across? So please tell me your type as well. Because other people, maybe they're going to be looking at the comments and see that a specific type and the specific realization is something that they're either looking forward to or something that they've had themselves. All right, so that's about it for this video. Merry Christmas. And thank you very much, patrons, as always. It means a lot, every day. Keeps me going. And everybody else, keep up the lifelong questing. Good luck, have fun. Thank you for being a part of this community and being on that path to personal growth. Good luck, have fun. Peace.